I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Today we're reading from the book of 1 Chronicles, chapter 14. So let's focus on verses 1 through 7. Now Hiram, king of Tyre, sent messengers to David and cedar trees with masons and carpenters to build him a house. And so David knew that the Lord had established him as king over Israel, for his kingdom was highly exalted for the sake of his people, Israel. And then David took more wives in Jerusalem, and David begot more sons and daughters. And these are the names of his children whom he had in Jerusalem: Shammua, Shobab, Nathan, Solomon, Ibhar, Elishua, Eliphet, Noga, Nepheg, Japhia, Elishama, Beeliada, and Eliphelet. Now on a flyover, today's chapter looks pretty positive. Tyre's King Hiram is building David a moth-proof, right, cedar castle, while the Lord is guiding David to victory over his most bitter enemies, the Philistines. But check out the titles of chapter 13 and 15, right? Those ones which sandwich chapter 14. In chapter 13, the ark is brought from Kiriath Jearim, and then the ark is brought to Jerusalem. So all of the action from today's chapter occurs at a time when God's ark is not in close proximity. So King Hiram promises to build David a house during a season when David does not have easy access to the Lord. Hence, David is not seeking the Lord often, and you can tell by the decisions that he's making. Sure, when he needs to fight a battle, David seeks God, but he also allows a foreign king, along with multiple foreign marriages to foreign women, to establish his house. So it's not the type of thing that we like to hear from the man, quote, after God's own heart, unquote. Eventually, in chapter 15, the ark will return to Jerusalem. But look at the damage done in chapter 14. It's subtle, and yet it's definite. Perhaps some guilt wells up in David as he gazes upon God's tent. 2 Samuel chapter 7, verses 1 through 5. And now it came to pass when the king was dwelling in his house, right, the one that king of Tyre built him. He was dwelling in his house, and the Lord had given him rest from all of his enemies all around, that the king said to Nathan the prophet, "See now, I dwell in a house of cedar, but the ark of God dwells inside tent curtains." And then Nathan said to the king, "Go and do all that is in your heart, for the Lord is with you." But it happened that night that the word of the Lord came to Nathan, saying, "Go and tell my servant David, thus says the Lord, would you build a house for me to dwell in?" Now today we have a stern reminder that our hope, our security, and dare we say our dynasty, it'll never be firmly established through worldly channels. And by no means will we establish God's kingdom through worldly methods or strategic relationships with non-believers. God does not need us to build his house. He doesn't need us to go market him and to spruce up his image for the days in which we live. No, he doesn't need us. We need him to build our house through the one whose title is the Son of David, the Messiah, Jesus. 2 Samuel chapter 7, verses 12 through 16 says this, "When your days are fulfilled and you rest with your fathers, I will set up your seed after you, who will come in your body, or come from your body, and will establish his kingdom. And he shall build a house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. And if he commits iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men, and with the blows of the sons of men. But my mercy shall not depart from him, as I took it from Saul, whom I removed from before you. And your house and your kingdom shall be established forever before you. Your throne shall be established forever." Think of these things. I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Groundworks Ministries operates entirely through financial donations from faithful people like you. Your giving to Groundworks Ministries transforms lives. Would you consider making a donation to Groundworks Ministries today? Because we need your monthly support now more than ever. Donating is secure and it's easy at our website, groundworksministries.com. You know, another way to help is to tell people about Groundworks Ministries. Share these podcasts with your friends and family and on your social media. And of course, you can always direct folks to our website, groundworksministries.com.